Srimat Sarga Sagar Yuga Avatar Sagar Yuga Krishna Prabhu Paramadayal Prabhu Paramadayal Ram Krishna Prabhu Paramadayal Karuna Sagar Yuga Avatar Karuna Sagar Yuga Ram Krishna Prabhu Sri Ram Krishna Bhagavan Ki Bhavan Siddha Sri Ambe Ambe Ma Devi Jai.
Home page 53.
Om Shiva Shiva Paragram Shiva Om Ram Shiva Saranam Shiva Shiva Paragram Shiva Om Shiva Saranam Om Shiva Shiva Paragram Shiva Om Ram Shiva Saranam Shiva Shiva Paragram Shiva Om Ram Shiva Saranam Shankara Bhavani Shankara Namani Shankara Bhavani Shankara Shankara Bhavani Shankara Namani Shankara Bhavani Shankara
Om Shri Ram Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai. Shri Ambe Mat ki jai.
Om, page 75.
He Ram, He Ram, He Ram, He Ram. Swami. Om Shri Ram Krishna Hare Ram Shri Ram
Om, page 33.
Hare Om Krishna 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 Shadaram Krishna Nam Bolo Ekabhar Bolo Ekabhar Shadaram Krishna Bolo Ekabhar Shadaram Hare Om Ram Krishna. Nirvana Sri Sharadharam Krishna Bharam 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 Bola Bola Om Shri Ram Krishna Bhagavan Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai. Shri Ambe Ambe Mat ki jai.
Om Aim Sarvadeva Devi Swarupaya Shri Rama Krishnaya Namaha. Revered Swami Swatma Ramanandaji Maharaj, our officials from our Durban Center, respected elders, sisters and brothers, dear children, Om Namo Narayanaya. I extend a warm welcome to each of you to this special memorial meeting in honor of most revered Srimat Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj. Most revered Srimat Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj was a guest at the center from 12th to 23rd June 2003. On 22nd June 2003, Most Revered Maharaj performed the dedication ceremony of our Chatsworth sub-center and inaugurated the Swami Vivekananda Family Child Welfare Center. We were indeed very blessed and privileged to have had this blessed opportunity of being in Maharaj's holy company. It was indeed a momentous occasion. Today, we dedicate the Satsang to Most Revered Maharaj and reminisce on his life and work. I respectfully invite Revered Swami Swatma Ramanandaji Maharaj to address us on the special occasion.
ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। जननीं शारदां देवीं रामकृष्णं जगद्गुरुं पादपद्मे तयो श्रित्वा प्रणमामि मुहुर्मुहुः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ
Bowing down at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda, I offer my Sathsang Pranam at the feet of Most Revered Srimat Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj, who was the Vice President of our Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, who served the order in such a illustrious way. And now he has given up his body in Mahasamadhi. We have all assembled here to reminiscence or to hear some of the events from his life, teachings from his life, so that it will be there in our mind to guide us, to propel us in our spiritual life. We all know, as Lord Krishna has told, that the Lord, the God who is formless, attributeless, he takes form and comes down as the avatara, descends down to our level. Now, in this Kali Yuga, Sri Ramakrishna came to lift up the righteousness where there was a lot of dharma glani. Unrighteousness was at its peak. So Sri Ramakrishna came to arrest this decline of the righteousness and lift it up to its pristine glory. But after Sri Ramakrishna went away, giving up his body, his avatara, he still continues to work, maybe as a voice without form. Now, that pure sattvic principles and ideas of Sri Ramakrishna needs a medium through which it can be manifested and again work in this world. That's why in our order, Ramakrishna Mutt and Mission, the very highly evolved sadhus, spiritual aspirants, are selected to the post of presidentship and vice presidentship, who will be continuing to do the work of the master. Now, through them, that infinite energy of Sri Ramakrishna will manifest, and again it will help all the spiritual aspirants to get that power of Sri Ramakrishna and go forward in spiritual life. Now, one of such medium, the pure soul, through which Sri Ramakrishna manifested and gave the mantra and the spiritual strength of Sri Ramakrishna to all the devotees, was most revered Srimat Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj. So here we have to remember, as Sri Ramakrishna himself used to tell, you can notice on the roof of the house in the olden days, when there would be rain, the water would be channelized outside from the roof of the house through some face of a cow or face of an elephant or face of something, through which the water collected on the roof would come out through the mouth of that cow or an elephant or some other animal. The water is the same, but the form of that spout from which the water comes out may be different. So all the gurus, they are just that form through which the energy, the spirit, the teachings, the principle of Sri Ramakrishna is coming out. And one such form was most revered Maharaj. We have all assembled here to know and think and meditate upon those wonderful life when that same energy of master manifests through different forms. There will be different manifestations which we have to enjoy. So today we will do that work. As I want to combine the bhajans and the talk together so that people will not be troubled by the long talk. Don't be afraid that I'm going to give a very long talk. But even then, to make it more interesting, I just want to mix this combination of bhajans and talk. To start with, I will sing a bhajan, a song on Sri Ramakrishna. Guru, Ramakrishna Guruve, Paramahamsa Guruve. A song now. Just let us enjoy and meditate on Sri Ramakrishna, the power of whom which manifested through this wonderful life. Rama Krishna Guruve Paramahamsa Guruve Rama Krishna Guruve Paramahamsa Guruve Rama Krishna Guruve Paramahamsa Guruve Kami
प्रेम दीन मीते वो राम कृष्ण परमहंस गुरुदेव सकल मतवनी सकल मतवनी अकलंक महिमा मम सकल मतवनी अकलंक महिमा मम लोक से लोक से नमी प्रभुदेवा राम कृष्ण गुरुदेव परमहंस गुरुदेव स्वामी विवेकानंद स्वामी विवेकानंद प्रेम सकल लोकवा स्वामी विवेकानंद प्रेम सकल लोकवा काम राम कृष्ण परमहंस गुरुदेव प्रेम दीन प्रेम 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 राम कृष्ण गुरुदेव परमहंस गुरुदेव राम कृष्ण गुरुदेव परमहंस गुरुदेव
There are more than 1,600 Swamis in our order and more than 400 Brahmacharis or even more. So nearly there are 2,000 and above sadhus. But only few are selected to lead the organization to become the instrument of Sri Ramakrishna to distribute that wonderful power of Sri Ramakrishna in the form of the mantra diksha that is only given to the presidents and vice presidents. Now, we should know that the power of Guru. Why do we respect Guru to such an extent where we repeated this verse, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha. Guru is the creator Brahma. Guru is none other than Lord Vishnu. Guru is none other than Maheshwara, Lord Shiva. Guru is Param Brahma, the highest Godhead. That is the Nirakara, Nirguna, formless, attributeless, conscious principle. That's why Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, we bow down to the feet of the Guru. Why is that position, the highest position given to the Guru? We should note that God is unselfishness. Why do we respect mother and father in the house? For their unselfishness. We respect mother even above father. Why is it? Because she sacrifices everything for the sake of the family. But even father and mother have little selfishness in their mind. And what is that? They shower their love and unselfishness only. It is limited to their family only. But when it comes to the children of other family, the same love and unselfishness will not be continued. And you can see there will be a very iota of selfishness with the love which is showered by the mother and father on the children, because they have some expectation when they grow old, these children of ours may look after us. We do not know whether their expectation will be true or false, whether the mother and father would be sent to the old age home or nursing care or whatever, but they have that iota of selfishness. But when it comes to Guru doesn't have even a trace of selfishness. You know, we have heard the story of Valmiki when he was robbing and stealing the people and getting the loot and sharing it with his family. Narada Maharshi came to me and asked, go and ask your family, why are you stealing? Why are you looting people? He told, to look after my family. Why? They love me. That's why I want to give all this loot to them. Go and ask whether they'll be sharing all your loots, but will they share your sins? Then when he went there and asked his father and mother, do you know how I look after you? No. I'm looting, I'm killing people and getting their loot and looking after you. Is it what a great sinner you are? Father and mother, will you take my sins like you are sharing my this sin? Loots? No. It's your bounden duty to look after the father and mother. Why should we share your sins? We are not ready. Then he went to the wife. The same answer. As a husband, you have to look after the wife. I will not share your sins. The same answer from the children. Finally, he has to rush back to Narada Maharshi and surrender at his feet, and he got the mantra of Rama in the reverse way, Mara, and he became a great saint. That's a different thing. But Guru not only gives the spiritual power which he has accumulated with great tapasya, unstintedly, continuously to everybody, shares it without any reason, without anything, expectation in return. In return of that, he doesn't want anything. He just goes on giving, distributing it. At the same time, he takes the sins of the disciple on himself and suffers for that. That's why you can see which the father and mother or children or wife or anybody, husband, nobody can do that. He takes the sin of the disciple, and until every disciple of his gets the liberation, he will not get the liberation. He will be continuing to work even after giving up the body. That's why our Guru is considered even above our father and mother, and they are respected. One of such position was given to this great soul, most revered, Srimat Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj. We all know that he did such wonderful service to the Sangha and to the people. And finally, a few days back, he gave up that wonderful instrument of his, which was not useful for him to continue. So he attained Mahasamadhi at 6:50 p.m. on the 1st of April 2023. Now, what was the speciality of this life? We have to know. Let us see what is that. that great soul, how he was modeled, how he came up in his life. In 1956, a young student of the Calcutta University was waiting to get his post-graduation degree in psychology with advanced industrial psychology as a specialization. Professor Dr. Purnendu Kumar Basu, a reputed teacher of the psychology of his time, was teaching these postgraduate students then. The young student's diligence and sharp intellect made him this Professor Dr. Purnendu's favorite student. On his part, the student too held his professor in high esteem. Later, in the souvenir commemorating Dr. Basu's centenary, this bright young man recalled just a few days before our postgraduate exam result, Dr. Basu called me and said that he wanted me to do research in psychology and that he had already arranged for a research scholarship for his doctorate. He also asked me to collect the forms from the office and to submit my completed forms for the scholarship. He was quite surprised as the student hesitated at his proposal. In my mind, this boy is telling, I was then wondering how soon I would be able to complete my post-graduation and join the Ramakrishna order as a sannyasin without any delay. So before his age will be overaged, just like in Ramakrishna order, you have to join before 26. You should be unmarried. You should have finished your graduation. So many conditions are there. You should be healthy. So now he would be crossing beyond 26. So you wanted to join the order before that. So he didn't want to pursue, though he was very intelligent and he was fit to do his doctorate, but he did not care for his career. The student, he asked his professor, he requested him to kindly give him 7 days time to think about, which that professor got very much disgusted. I too was in a dilemma. Meanwhile, the exams results were out and this boy stood first in the university's combined psychology group. My true guide then was Swami Premeshanandaji Maharaj, one of the Holy Mother's disciple. And I was also obliged to Swami Lokeshwaranandaji, another mentor of this boy. After 7 days, I went to Dr. Basu, the professor, to prostrate before him and told him that I would not be pursuing my research work. It was this young student that later metamorphosed into revered, most revered Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj as the vice president of the Ramakrishna Sangha, who gave up all his worldly research and career and pursuits to dive deep into research in the spiritual world. That is Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj. Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj was born to Sri Shailendranath and Srimati Shefalika Chaudhary on 17th October 1931 in Akhura in Bangladesh. So that is his birth. We came to know this great soul who his parents were. Now, just a few days before the birth of this great soul, after his birth, he was named as Varuna. In Bengal, Va becomes Ba, so he was called Barun. So just a few days before Barun's birth, a Muslim fakir came to their house wanting to bless the baby. When that is the religious people or the saints of Muslims are called as fakirs. When the mother brought the infant in her arms, the fakir, while fanning the child, conveyed through the lines of a song that this child would not be kept at home for a long time. Barun's mother went inside the house to get some offering for the fakir guest, as per the prevailing custom, but when she returned, the fakir was nowhere to be found. It is difficult to say whether this was an act of providence and what it signified. Now, as he was growing, this boy, he was in his educational days. At this time, he and his friend became acquainted with Revered Swami Premeshanandaji Maharaj, who was staying at Sargachi, who had seen Holy Mother, and he had realized God. Premeshanandaji Maharaj letters of Premeshanandaji are wonderful treatise. You can see that. So he was a realized soul. So he came into contact with this wonderful soul. Shankaracharya tells, it's very difficult to get a human life, and it is very difficult to get the desire to realize God. And the most difficulty is to get Satsanga, Sadhu Sangha, the company of the realized soul, the company of the people who have realized God. Manushyatvam, Mumukshatvam, Mahapurusha Samshreya, Durlabam Trayame Vitat. It's very, very difficult to get, say Shankaracharya. So now this young boy, Barun, is getting everything, human life, then the desire to realize God, and the company of the great soul. Now, Maharaj, that is Swami Premeshanandaji Maharaj himself, now Prabhanandaji or Barun is telling about himself. The first meeting with Swami Premeshanandaji, on that day I first met him, he kept staring at me. When I asked him what he was saying, he said, I'm looking at your two eyes. Premeshanandaji liked him a lot. Whenever Barun went to Sargachi ashram, Maharaj would take him to his room and tell him various tales of gods and goddesses. Very often, he would himself accompany him to the railway station on the way back. And Barun Maharaj looked up to Premeshanandaji as his mentor, that is Shiksha Guru. Now, one day, Barun's mother came to the grandfather's house where he was staying in Berhampur after a long time. Mother had not seen her child for a long time. For work, and that he want to talk with her later on. This surprised the mother. Mother said to him, what is this, my child? I have come all the way from Bangladesh, such a far off place, to see you and talk to you after such a long time. Why not stay back today and go to ashrama tomorrow? The son said that that would not be possible and that he must go that day itself. At this, his mother said to him, to whom will you go to in the ashram? Does anyone there love you more than I, your mother, do? Yes, said Barun. There is a Swami there who loves me much more than you, said Barun. Unable to bear this retort, his mother sorrowfully said, look at what this boy tells. I am his mother who gave birth to him, and he says that there is someone in the ashrama who loves him more than I do. Such was the spiritual bond that bound Barun and this Holy Mother disciple. The name itself indicates Premesha. Prema means the spiritual or godly love. Isha means the Lord of the love. Premeshanandaji Maharaj was full of God's love and love. He was showering that love to everybody. So here this boy felt that it was more greater than that. So it was this Shiksha Guru, he took him. The Shiksha Guru means not the initiation, the Guru who has given the initiation. It was through Premeshanandaji who trained again, and he came in contact with another stalwart of Ramakrishna Sangha, that is Swami Lokeshwaranandaji Maharaj. Now, let us see the spiritual life a little of this wonderful soul, because we have seen the early life of Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj. Now let us see some other part of the life where how he was dedicated to spiritual life. He came into contact with many other great souls. One of the great soul whom he met was another Holy Mother Sharda Devi's disciple, Swami Shantanandaji Maharaj. A Holy Mother's disciple also liked me a lot. I have spent a long time with this Holy Mother's disciple, Shantanandaji. He was then staying in our Ranchi Morabadi ashram. Then it was in Bihar. Now it is in Jharkhand. This Swamiji, because of intense spiritual practices, he would to hear Anahata Dhvani. What is that Anahata Dhvani? Mystical sound of Om. He would always hear Om, the Anahata Dhvani. He thought that everybody heard this as a matter of course. So that Swami Shantanandaji Maharaj, Holy Mother's disciple, was very simple like a child. He asked me, that is Barun or Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj, do you also hear that sound? Whether I too heard the sound? To which Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj told, I said, no Maharaj, I do not hear it. He said, you try and you too will hear it. Once I said to him that I wanted to go to Himalayas to practice tapasya austerities. I was very happy at this and said, do go and do lot of tapasya austerity. You too will hear the Anahata Dhvani Om. But drink a little milk daily to get strength. Unless the body is fit, what cannot do austerities, tapasya sadhana. Saying this, he gave me a 10 rupee note. So now he had so many such great souls with whom he had contact, who all helped him to do the tapasya and sadhana. Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj is telling, once I took leave from the work of the ashram and went to Himalayas and spent a long time in our Almora center in tapasya, doing sadhana. I also spent a long time in Shamlatal ashram in the Himalayas, wanting to do more sadhana. I had read in the book of Holy Mother Sharda Devi that Mother used to do 1 lakh japa. 1 lakh means 100,000 repetition of the mantra in a day. Making a few calculation, I could not be convinced how this was possible. 100,000 times of repetition of the name of God mantra with Om and the Bija mantra and the Namaha and the name of the God. It's almost impossible. But when Mother herself has confirmed this, it could not be otherwise. So I decided to find out for myself whether it was possible to do that 100,000 japa or not. I had my mantra diksha from most revered Shankaranandaji Maharaj, who never asked anyone to use a japamala, rosary, but insisted that we should do japa keeping count on the fingers. I also kept count on my fingers to keep track of the number of repetitions. I collected some pebbles, stones. I found that to do 100,000 japa, I needed 18 to 19 hours. Later, I saw that it could not be done in less than 16 to 17 hours. After continuing like this for a few days, both my hands were swollen. When the then president of the order, Most Revered Vireshwaranandaji Maharaj, learnt of this, he sent me a Rudraksha mala, a japamala of 54 beads, and said to me, even though your Guru Shankaranandaji Maharaj did not give you the japamala, I am telling you to do your japa keeping count on this mala. If the number of mantra repetition is more, one cannot do it without a mala. Thus, it was then that I began to use japamala. Now you can see Maharaj is practicing every day 18 to 19 hours of japa in the Himalayas, doing the mantra more than 100,000 times. Never did Prabhanandaji Maharaj speak about his spiritual experiences. He was very quiet about it. However, in various contexts, some confirmation did come out. A senior sadhu said that when Prabhanandaji Maharaj was writing Swami Brahmanandaji's life story, he had the vision of Raja Maharaj, that is Brahmanandaji in a vision. In answer to a question by one of his disciples, he had said, once I had a unique vision when I went to Kedaranatha and Badrinatha. On listening to what I told them, some people there in Kedarnath and Badrinath said to me that it was the vision of Nandi, Shiva's carrier Vahana. Many people can see Nandi in Kedarnath. So, Prabhanandaji Maharaj, during the time of his sadhana, used to have these spiritual visions. He had so many other things, but he would not tell it so frequently. Now, Prabhanandaji's health was not so good from the childhood. We have narrated that Swami Hiranmayanandaji Maharaj asked him to wear a pendant on his person containing Holy Mother Sharda Devi's Padaraja, that is foot dust. And how, after using that foot dust of Holy Mother as a pendant, Prabhanandaji Maharaj's health, which was very frail, got better and better. In this connection, there is an interesting anecdote. Once a Swami said to Prabhanandaji Maharaj that all the books Maharaj had authored, Swami Sharadanandaji Maharaj's life story was the best. Prabhanandaji had said to that sadhu, after wearing that foot dust of Holy Mother Sharda Devi, due to the mother's blessing, I was wondering what gift I could give Holy Mother. After thinking deeply about it, I decided to write the book on Sharadanandaji Maharaj, who had served Holy Mother so much. When writing the book, I would think about Holy Mother's beneficent, gracious face. When Maharaj was dangerously sick once at Lucknow, Holy Mother Sharda Devi had personally rescued Prabhanandaji Maharaj from sinking. It was perhaps this memory that Prabhanandaji Maharaj was referring to above, about Mother's gracious face. He had seen Holy Mother Sharda Devi. Also, she had rescued him when he was sinking in sickness. Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj was very particular about his daily japa dhyana. I have seen him personally, how he would get up early in the morning at 3 o'clock or 3:30. Without fail, he used to come to the shrine for his japa and meditation. He might have gone to so many places for so many other things. He used to do a lot of work, lot of literary work. He had written so many books. So if he would be coming very late in the night to ashrama, maybe at 1:30 or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, but he would never miss his early morning arati to Sri Ramakrishna. Again, he would get up at 3:30, come to the shrine, whether he has slept at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, he would come to the shrine without fail and sit for his meditation. He was very particular about his daily japa dhyana. No one has ever seen him miss his routine. I have seen that. In my own life, I have served Swamiji. He would never miss his morning routine sitting for meditation. Sitting erect, he would do his japa for 2 hours continuously. Even when he used to go to sleep, lying down or sleeping, one could see him keeping count on his finger and repeating the name of God. His daily routine began at 3:30 a.m. When he would get up and go to the shrine. He would continue his japa till 5:15 a.m. Then he would go to all the temples in the Belur Math and do pranams and then come back. So that was his routine. In the evening also, he used to sit for meditation for long hours. His life was dedicated to the order Sangha in letter and spirit. None ever heard him complain about his life in the order. He used to serve, he used to work, he used to do work in the administration, his personal work, to write the book, but he would never complain that he had so much of work. In one monks' conference, he had said in a firm voice to all the monks who had assembled there, remember, there is no difference between Ramakrishna, Mother Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda and this order, Ramakrishna Sangha, that is our ashrama. There is no difference between, because Swami Vivekananda himself has told, Ramakrishna ashrama are our centers are the physical body of Sri Ramakrishna. So here Prabhanandaji is telling, remember, there is no difference between Thakur, Ma, Swamiji and this order. The best sadhana in this yuga is to serve this fourfold manifestation. He was extremely respectful towards the Sangha president and all other senior sadhus of the order. When he was himself the vice president, the Guru, during Durga Puja in Belur Math, Shashti day, Swami, Revered Swami, Smaranandaji Maharaj, president of the Sangha, was sitting on a chair in the shrine. Another chair had been kept near his chair, that was for Revered Prabhanandaji Maharaj. However, after his pranams to Mother Durga, Prabhanandaji Maharaj pulled back his chair almost one row behind the President Maharaj's chair and sat on it. It was such humility and Shraddha used to show to his seniors, even though he was the Guru. That was his wonderful nature and character. Now, one occasion, he was talking with a group of young disciples. Maharaj was saying that once he gave a very inspiring lecture. Hearing that, one youth, one young boy, listening to that speech, became very much inspired. From the audience, he came to Maharaj and said that he wanted to join, become a monk. Maharaj could read the face because, his expertise was in psychology. His master degree was in psychology. Despite Maharaj's protest, no, you can't, the lad would not listen and said to Maharaj, after listening to your such a great, wonderful lecture, one cannot stay at home any longer. And then came Maharaj's comic narration. This boy, in spite of Maharaj telling him, you can't do it, please stay in your house and be a family man, you can't become a monk, serve your parents, he would never listen. He came and joined. So now Maharaj is telling, when he came and joined, he found that he had to get up early in the morning, he had to do a lot of work, he had to study, etc. Then he fled from the ashram, he ran away without telling. So Maharaj could easily identify. Another humorous nature of Maharaj. See, generally we sadhus, we are not afraid of death because we have already finished our last rites. Before getting sannyasa, we have to do all our last rites. We are dead to the world. There was a cyclone in Kolkata. It caused havoc in the city and of course in Belur Math too. Many huge trees in Belur Math were uprooted. Now the Swami in charge of the garden had nicely cut the fallen tree trunks and had stacked them systematically to dry. Now Prabhanandaji Maharaj was walking in Belur Math after this cyclone. Notice this stack of wood nicely kept there for drying. Now asked this garden in charge Swamiji what he intended to do with this stack of wood. That garden in charge Swamiji replied that they would be used to cremate sadhus, to burn the bodies of the sadhus when they died, who pass away. For that purpose, I'm stacking all these things. Do you know what Prabhanandaji Maharaj replied? He said to him with a winsome smile, please keep some logs for me also. You can use after I pass away. So they are not afraid of death at all. They think, the sadhus are trained to think that we are the soul, the Atmasvarupa, not the body. The identification of the body will be completely gone. They will be always identifying with the Atman, the Paramatman, which is within every human being. I have myself seen one sadhu in Bangalore. His name was Swami Vibhudhanandaji Maharaj. Before, just 1 month before his death, near the ashram, there is one cremation ground where they burn the body. There is electrical crematorium, but there would be also, the firewood would be kept and burnt. People, whatever their faith, they will do like that. You have to give more money for that. Now this Swamiji, 1 month before his death, old Swamiji was maybe more than 89 or 90. He went in a taxi or auto rickshaw. In India, it's called auto rickshaw. He went to that cremation ground. There was the undertaker. He told him, see, after a few more days, this body will come here. So don't use the bad wood, you use the good wood And don't pour kerosene and petrol and other things. Use ghee to burn this body. And for that, I will give you money now itself. He gave him money and came back. Within 1 month, he passed away and that body went there and it was burnt there to flames. That is the nature of the sadhus. After thinking of God and God, they give the identity with the body. They give up the identity with the body. They think they are the children of God. They identify with the Atman instead of the ego and the body. You can see that same thing in this wonderful soul. Now, let us sing one bhajan on a guru so that you will remember this greatness of the guru, how guru always protects the disciples and how we are always under the care of the guru. Let us sing one Namavali. I'm going to teach you this wonderful song on Guru. You also may be knowing this song, Guru Hamare Manamandir Mein. गुरु हमारे मन मंदिर में, गुरु हमारे प्यार, सारे विश्व का ओ है दाता, नारायण भगवान। ओम गुरुदेव, जय गुरुदेव। गुरु हमारे तन मन सब है, गुरु हमारे प्राण, ज्ञान भक्ति का ओ है दाता, नारायण भगवान। गुरु हमारे धन दौलत है, गुरु हमारे प्यार, सारे विश्व का ज्ञान प्रदाता, नारायण भगवान। गुरु हमारे मन मंदिर में, गुरु हमारे मन मंदिर, गुरु प्यार, गुरु हमारे प्यार, सारे विश्व का ओ है दाता, सारे विश्व का ओ है दाता, नारायण भगवान। जय गुरु, जय गुरुदेव। सब गुरु हमारे प्राण, दाता, दाता, नारायण भगवान। The name Guru itself indicates Gu Shabdasya Andakaraha. Gu means the darkness of ignorance. Ru Shabdasya Nivaranam. Ru means removal of the darkness of ignorance. So that is the meaning of the word Guru. So Guru is the person who removes the ignorance. Not that we are getting God separately or newly. The Lord is already present in our heart. Our desires, our ignorance in the form of desire to enjoy this world, that ignorance is covering the Lord who is within. So now the Guru removes this layer of ignorance, and automatically, by default, the Lord who is already within manifests. That is realization. Revered Prabhanandaji Maharaj, contribution to Ramakrishna Vivekananda literature has been quite significant. He will be thankfully remembered for this for generation. Not only in Ramakrishna order Sangha, but even at the national level as well. Perhaps this is what prompts Swami Suviranandaji Maharaj, the present General Secretary of the Sangha, to say, if the first era of Ramakrishna Vivekananda literature belonged to Swami Sharadanandaji Maharaj, who was the direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, the second era then belongs to Swami Gambhiranandaji Maharaj. And the third era should surely belong to Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj. So that was the intensity with which Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj gave his contribution to the literary world. Some of the significant books authored by him are Sri Ramakrishner Antya Leela. You know that when Holy Mother gave up her body in Mahasamadhi, Sharadanandaji Maharaj, the direct disciple, who was writing the life, the great master, that is Leela Prasanga, Sri Ramakrishna Leela Prasanga, he stopped working. Then after that, he gave up working. He didn't continue at all. And somebody asked him, Swamiji, why don't you continue? Now, all my enthusiasm, my energy is lost after Holy Mother's Mahasamadhi, after Holy Mother went away. Now I can't do anything. She was my energy. Now she's gone. I can't do anything. Now, Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj took up this onerous task and finished that work afterwards. What Sharadanandaji Maharaj couldn't complete. So that is Sri Ramakrishna Antya Leela. Then Brahmananda Charita, Sharadananda Charita, Ramakrishna, Mather, Mather, Adhikata, Anandarupa Sri Ramakrishna, Amritarupa Sri Ramakrishna, etc. were his Bengali works. Amongst his English books, the first meeting with Sri Ramakrishna, early history of Sri Ramakrishna, more about Ramakrishna. So like that, he has written so many other books. So about the Ramakrishna movement are testimony to his penetrating intellect and power of analysis. So that was the one thing which Sri Prabhanandaji Maharaj gave, that wonderful contribution to the literary field. Now we can see Maharaj had once said to a person bent on doing the social service, Samaja Seva, how can you do the social service? It is not social service. It is service to God. Learn to love Swami Vivekananda intensely. You will see all your problems evaporate. Recalling his days when, as a young student, he was engrossed in serving the inmates of the Arambagan slum. He used to go to the slum where the poor people used to reside. He said, in the eyes of the suffering people, one sees clearly as daylight their hopes, dreams, and aspirations. In a civilized society, one must try heart and soul to eliminate the word slum from the vocabulary by uplifting these people, poor people. His disciples, that is Prabhanandaji Maharaj's disciples, would often hear from his lips the word, be sincere to yourself and be sincere to Sri Ramakrishna. To the newly ordained sannyasins who approached Prabhanandaji Maharaj with some specific questions, he replied, hold on to Ramakrishna and Ma, that is Mother Sharda Devi, all through your life. Pray every day for their grace. You will see that they will surely respond to your prayer. That was the teaching he used to give to all the monastic members and also his disciples. As I was telling you about his literary work and his life of sadhana and his service, he was on 6th May 2012. Maharaj was appointed a vice president of the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission. He gave Mantra Diksha to the first batch of aspirants at Ramakrishna Math, Bagh Bazaar, that is Udbodh, and it is called Mother's House, on 29th June 2012. This place also turned out to be the place where he would give Mantra Diksha for the last time in 25th June 2022. His loving nature and impressive personality attracted all people to him, young and old, students and workers, monks and householders. His concern for the well-being of others manifested even more tangibly after he became the vice president. Many were the days when students from neighboring Vidya Mandir could be found sitting at his feet in Belur Math. Some of these students have taken Mantra Diksha from him, and few have joined the order to become sadhus. Now, before, how would he give initiation? What was his attitude when he was giving the Mantra Diksha? What was his attitude when he is called the Guru? What would he do? We can see before the day of the initiation, Maharaj would meticulously study the application forms filled by the would-be disciples, the candidates. He would see how many were men, how many were women. The youngest in age who wanted mantra diksha, the spiritual initiation, their educational qualification of that person, and above all, the reason for what that person wanted to take mantra diksha. On the diksha day, he would first of all offer arghya. You know, the arghya is bilvapatra. On that will be anointed sandalwood. Then on that will be kept the akshata, the rice, sacred rice, and then the durva grass and a flower. What is it indicating? The bilvapatra indicates the knowledge, gnana. Then the gandha, the sandalwood indicates the devotion. Then the durva and the akshata, the self and the mind stuff. Then the flower is the mind stuff with which the qualities of different qualities of the mind. So totally the arghya is nothing but your total personality, your mind. So when you offer that arghya to the Lord, that means you are totally surrendering your mind, yourself to God. So another aspect of arghya is we take some water because we may not find all these things. So take little water and pour to the Lord as an offering. That is also called arghya. Then another aspect in the puja is give water to wash the hands of God. That is also called arghya. But here we in our order consider arghya means that bilvapatra, the flower and other things, considering or completing that, we are offering our whole mind, our whole personality, surrendering at the feet of the Lord. That is the significance of giving the arghya. Now, before the initiation, first of all, Prabhanandaji Maharaj would offer arghya to Master, Mother and Swamiji in the shrine. And again, in the Diksha room, he would say to the candidates, see, I have told them, that is Sri Ramakrishna, Mother Sharda Devi and Vivekananda, about all of you. Again, after the Diksha is over, I will pray to them so that they will take over all your responsibility. At the end of the day's mantra Diksha, he would again offer arghya as before and then return to his room. When he visited a center to give Diksha on several days at a stretch, on the last day he would give a brief talk to the devotees, especially pointing out what Holy Mother Sharda Devi said about leading God-centered life. Now, we have seen this wonderful attitude, the attitude of selflessness. He never considered himself as a great guru, or he has become the manifestation, the instrument of Ramakrishna. But he would surrender all his disciple and pray to Sri Ramakrishna, please take their responsibility and look after them. See, you should see how they never cared for their own health, but they were only worried about serving others, the poor people, the ashrama, the Lord. They would not even care for their own health. They never considered that their body was theirs. They always considered that they were the Atma Swarupa. One afternoon, Maharaj was seriously ill and he was vomiting blood for quite some time. The doctor somehow stopped the blood vomiting. All felt that Maharaj was intensely suffering and needed rest after some time. An intimate devotee entered his room to see how his condition was. He saw that Maharaj was lying on his bed and reading a book with full concentration. He asked Maharaj, Maharaj, you were so sick, vomiting blood sometime earlier, and now you are studying. Maharaj replied very softly, oh, they are all youngsters and they get scared easily. I'm not a doctor, true, but I have read a lot about sickness and medicines. he then explained to the devotee the possible reason for the blood vomiting, saying that it was nothing serious. The devotee was stunned at Maharaj's nonchalant attitude. He's not at all concerned about his bodily welfare, but he's only concerned about serving Sri Ramakrishna and the devotees. That was his attitude towards the world and towards his body and personal needs. So that's how our Prabhanandaji Maharaj was trained. During the youth and Bhakta Sammelana, he would speak for a short while to encourage the speakers, assembled youth and devotees. The scholars of the institute, teachers, monastic brothers, guests, employees, all felt very close to him. Maharaj started the Mediclaim scheme for the employees of the institute. He was so concerned about the employees of the ashram too. His conduct was such that people would easily understand what to do and what to avoid. It was not in his nature to advise anyone. He would often quote Swami Shardanandaji Maharaj, that is the direct disciple of Ramakrishna. He would say, I cannot sit with a cane in my hands like a school headmaster. But his feeling for the poor, to the employees and everybody, to the devotees, was so much so that he would be always thinking of their welfare, but he would not care for his own health. Maharaj was indeed a guardian to all under his care, not simply the head of this huge institution. When one of the scholars was helping him to write a book, he had a serious condition of health, incurable disease. His children were all staying abroad and he was all alone in Calcutta. He was in urgent need of surgery. Prabhanandaji Maharaj learned that preparations were afoot to admit Sunil Babu, that is that patient, the scholar, into a private nursing home near his residence. But Maharaj called Sunil Ghosh to his office and got a first-hand report of his ailment. He then arranged for his treatment and surgery at Ramakrishna Mission Seva Pratishthan Hospital and even decided which doctor would perform the surgery. Subsequently, he would regularly inquire of the progress being made by the patient, and he personally went to Seva Pratishthan to see Sunil Ghosh. So that was his concern for all the people. He used to see God, his own Ishtadevata Ramakrishna, in everyone and serve. So such a wonderful life of Prabhanandaji Maharaj. There are so many other things, 34 pages. I can send it to you. The detailed life of Prabhanandaji Maharaj, it is there available on the WhatsApp or something. You can read it later on. But now we will stop our meditation and thinking of that wonderful events of the life of Prabhanandaji Maharaj with a song on the Guru. Guru Charanana Mandala Lagare Guru Charanana Mandala. I have placed my mind on the feet of Guru. Janam janam ka soya pada mana. For many ages and lives together, my mind was sleeping in worldliness. Shabad sunat ab jagare. By hearing the wonderful words of the Guru, my mind is woken up. Mata, Pita, Dhana, Kutumbaka, Bandhana, Putta, Jo, Kacha, Dagare. All the bondages which was binding me to this world have been cut off. Bahut Krupa Kari, Guru Sarvo Pari, by his infinite grace. Moha Maha Nish Bhaga Bhagare. All the darknesses ran away by the grace of my Guru. Guru Mara Ganita Chalata Chalata Chitta. Ananda Nij Umadayare. I have got that bliss, the ocean of bliss has come to me by the grace of my Guru. Guru Charanana Manala Lagare. Guru Charanana Lagare. Guru Charanana Lagare. Janama janamata soya padama. Janama janamata soya padama. Shabad sunat ab jaga jagare. Shabad sunat ab jaga jagare. Guru Charana Lagare.
Om, let us sit for a few moments in silent meditation. Om, 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 Shanti, 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 Om. May we please rise for the Sri Vishnu Arati on page 230. Om, Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Jagadish Swami
Om Jai Jagadish Swami Jai Sada vasantam hridayarvind Saritam Saritam Sarvamangala Shri Sarvadasadi Sharam Dharmati Stite Stite Om Sarvesham Swaste Bhavatu Sarvesham Shanti Bhavatu Sarvesham Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadram Pashyantu Ma Tasya Durgamam Om Gita Tatsale Purnasyam Purnamaya Purnameva Sishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Hari Om Darshan Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Shri Maharaj की जय श्री स्वामी जी महाराज की जय श्री गंगा मात की जय श्री महावीर स्वामी जी की सर्व ऋषि मुनि की पार्वती पते महादेव की जय। ओम नमः।
On behalf of the officials and members of the Chatsworth Sub-Center, we express our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to Revered Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj for gracing our function this morning. A heartfelt thanks to Revered Maharaj for holding the special memorial meeting at the Chatsworth Sub-Center. We also thank Maharaj for his eloquent message on the life and works of most revered Swami Prabhanandaji Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. A heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you for attending our satsang this morning. A special thanks to our board members for also gracing us with your presence this morning. Please remain seated while Maharaj leaves the shrine.
ओम कृष्णा हरे राम